let's get you the top headlines this hour. Then the US has declared the ball is in China's court as US-China tariff tensions hit new highs. In fact, at a White House briefing, Press Secretary Karen Leavitt also said that Trump is open to a deal, but only if China steps up. In fact, she quoted the president saying, "They need our money," underscoring that global players want access to the American consumer. Certain tech products, the likes of smartphones and laptops, have been spared for now. But remember, Boeing shares took a massive hit after China ordered a halt when it comes to new orders.
Lots of news coming in as far as Trump's actions are concerned. Now, Trump has signed a healthcare executive order with a notable big win for Big Pharma. Now, he's pushing to delay Medicare's price negotiations for pill-based drugs by 4 years, aligning them with complex biotech meds. Now, the move echoes industry lobbying and requires Congress to act. While aimed at cutting healthcare costs, critics say that it could blunt the Biden-era Medicare reform that first gave the program power to negotiate drug prices for millions of seniors.
Amid the ongoing trade war, Trump has in fact ordered a national security probe into all US critical mineral imports. In fact, he invoked the same trade law he used to slap duties when it comes to steel and aluminium, aiming to curb the country's deep reliance on China for vital materials the likes of cobalt, nickel and rare earths. Now, the order in fact warns that foreign control over these supply chains threatens national security as well as economic stability. And remember that China has already retaliated with rare earth export curbs.
Absolutely. Another update coming in from US. Now, US Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent is downplaying fears that China could weaponize its more than $750 billion treasury holdings despite the ongoing bond market volatility. Now, in an interview, he said that there's no risk of China dumping US debt, noting that it will hurt their own economy by strengthening the yuan.
Moving on, Nvidia is bracing for a $5.5 billion hit this quarter linked to its H2 AI chip exports to China as well as other regions. Now, the H2 was built to dodge US export curbs, in fact, but fresh restrictions now demand a license. The stock, in fact, dropped over 6%, like we mentioned earlier, in after-hours trade, raising concerns that Washington's crackdown could finally catch up with AI tech darling Nvidia's breakneck growth.
All right, then moving on, let's get you an update from the aviation space. Now, United Airlines is hedging its bets for 2025, offering two profit forecasts as it calls the economy impossible to predict. Now, it sees earnings anywhere from $7 to $13.50 a share, depending on whether a recession hits or not. Now, while international and premium bookings are flying high, domestic travel demand is sputtering. Still, United Airlines says that it'll stay profitable irrespective of the turbulence.
Moving on, OpenAI may be adopting a bold move into social media, taking on Elon Musk's X and Meta's Instagram. In fact, according to reports, the idea is still early, but it is fueled by the viral success of OpenAI's latest image generation tool, which has been crashing servers. However, if it pans out, we could be looking at the next AI-powered social playground.
If you like this video, then like, share and subscribe to ET Now.